All right, I call this meeting to order. Madam Clerk?
Commissioner Dodge?
Here.
Commissioner Lieberman?
Here.
Commissioner Rice?
Here, let us stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And we have our County Administrator, Michael Colbert, with the 2023 budget presentation.
Thank you, Commissioners. It gives me a great deal of pleasure today to present our 2023 budget presentation. It's going to be a little bit different because we've had some weird technicalities going on this morning, but I think we've got it to where you can see. Can all three of you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay, it won't be on the switch box.
Oh, it's not.
Um,
Yeah, we were trying to do that.
So this year's budget, Commissioner, really reflects our mission. I wanted to have our mission statement up there because if you look at what we've been through over the last few years, whether it's the tornado or COVID or coming out of COVID, the adjustments and the fiscal responsibility that we did during COVID really set the die for now. And when we budgeted in 2021 for 22, we couldn't really see where we were going or where COVID's going. So this reflects the real first budget coming into a sense of normalcy. And our mission statement, we create value by investing in people, the economy, the services, for all to lead safe, healthy, and productive lives. The budget is really reflective in that and in the policies thereof. So we're going to start off, Commissioners, with key budgetary highlights that reflect those values. We'll also go into the all funds. So we'll talk about the budget as a whole. And then we'll talk about the general fund a bit. And then, Commissioners, will go into the programs that drive the budget. And finally, we'll end with a synopsis of the total budget and a little bit overview of our Human Services Levy. So to get started, we've got some 2023 budget highlights. And these are the highlights, the overview of the all funds budget and what it really makes up. Preschool promise at $4 million, our commitment to continue our education of our little ones. Our workforce programs, including our leadership programs, male and female leadership programs, which are our mentoring programs, our recruitment for our employers, our continued job training, and then our centers, Madison Lakes and our Employment Opportunity Center and the Business Solutions Center. Our EDGE program is second to none, creating thousands of jobs both on the retention and the attraction side. Our facilities, we have to continue to invest in our facilities. The facility you're in now, whether it's a Rival facility, our facilities are aging and they're old, and we have to continue investments there. Our arts and cultural district, we continue to see one of our largest attractions in our community is the investments that we have made, Commissioners, thanks to your support in our arts throughout our community. And then strategic community projects. These are the dollars that allow you to invest, Commissioners, in areas that help benefit our community. It also helps enhance our community-wide programs through strategic initiatives, whether it's our 3 collective impact models that you've championed, or whether or not it's things like the arts or economic development. So we'll start off, Commissioners, with the 2023 revenue highlights for the all funds. This is the total budget. The all funds budget at $951.8 million is up $14.3 million or 1.5%. Our key line items here are charges for services, taxes, and other financing sources, which includes our Human Services Levy transfers. Our drivers here are water sewer rates. We continue to maintain our existing water sewer rates, so we're not increasing rates to our ratepayers. We're looking at 11.5% increase in our Medicaid reimbursement at Stillwater, so we continue to see more reimbursement going back to the state and federal government at Stillwater. And our motel hotel tax increase of about a little bit more than $500,000. So now coming off of COVID, even though we're still kind of in COVID flu, if you will, coming off of the big pandemic, we are starting to see our hotel motel taxes increase. The 2023 revenue expense highlights all funds includes $975.4 million or 21.5 million increase, or 2.2%. Now, the key line items here are personnel services at 352.9 million, professional services, which includes our internal contracting, including outlays internally, our operating transfers out, which includes our transfers to other funds, and then our operating expenses, which includes our internal supplies and equipment that we utilize inside the county. Our key drivers here are 25.1 million for key environmental services capital outlay. We must continue to invest in our infrastructure and environmental services. This is huge. This is water, this is sewer, this is solid waste. Our health insurance costs are up 4%. However, we're still below market at 5.6%. And then we still maintain our highly rated credit risk and our low debt overall. Our 2023 revenue highlights for the general fund. Now, this is our main operating fund, commissioners. It is now at 207.8 million. It's up 16.9 million, or 8.9%. The revenue and the expenses in the general fund were balanced, and they will be balanced by statute. So you will see that the expenses will essentially be the same. The big driver here, of course, from a line item standpoint, is taxes at 135.9 million, represents 65%. And you have intergovernmental, which is essentially revenue that we receive from the state and federal government, charges for services, or internally charges for services that we generate from our own operation, and then investment income. Some key highlights here: 5 million, or 4.5% estimated sales tax growth. That's really considered pretty moderate. We're going to teeter somewhere between 117 and 120 on the general fund sales tax, so we're going to budget kind of conservatively there. 8 million in investment income. The inflationary indexes are going to kind of do the inverse for us. We're going to see rises in investment income, but we're also going to see rises in cost of goods. Indigent defense at 90%. We expected that to be at 100%, but going into this year, the state has told us 90%. We're at 90% or 100% last year because of the advocacy from you, commissioners, the work that you have done to advocate for us getting 100% back on our costs for indigent defense. And then both the local government funds and the casino funds, we think will have an increase there. We know, commissioners, you're continuing to advocate for us to get full restoration of local government funds across the local area. Our 2023 expense highlights in the general fund. Again, we'll be at 207.8 million, or 16.9, because the revenues and the expenses balance. Big driver here is personnel, which is our own and staff, salaries and benefits. Operating transfers out, this is our transfers within funds, and professional services, our internal and outlays to other contractual services. In professional services, you see consulting, legal services, that is up by 3.8 million. We also see here the impact of inflation, commissioners. Just like you see at your house, groceries are rising, utilities are rising. Our utilities are going to go up. We already know that. We lock our utilities on the market, but we're going to see our cost of goods go up, our cost of supplies, especially in sensitive areas like our IT equipment and AV equipment like you see here. All of these type of things are going up. New imaging specialists for the Records Commission. As we start to look at efficient government, we want to make sure that all the records that we have are moved to digital equipment. And we're going to do this by adding staff in the records area. And then the general fund budgets, we make sure that we take care of our non-bargaining unit employees with a 4% salary parameter increase. And we also honor all of our existing union contracts. So how do we break up $975 million, commissioners, into the programs that support the county? Well, these are the key areas of how that is broken out. Social services is really the lion's share of what you see when you're looking at our budget. Judicial and law enforcement, environmental and public works, solid waste, the county engineer, water, sewer, general government, which is our internal governor, auditor, treasurer, recorder, community and economic development, workforce and economic development incentives for attraction and retention, and then debt service. So just to drill into each one of those, social services being the lion's share of our budget. Human services planning and development, they are the keeper of the levy. The levy supports all the major agencies, DDS, Adamus, Stillwater, Children's Services, and Public Health. They also support our Frail Elderly Program, and they support our homeless programs, Commissioner. So human services is key. Job and family services. You know, when you look at job and family services, you think of child support, and you think of family stability programs such as food and Medicaid. But recognize, Commissioners, that a third of our population, at 530,000 people, a third of our population is impacted by some level of social services. We have 185,000 people on Medicaid. We have 75,000 people on SNAP benefits, and we have almost 4,000 people on TANF. So the investments that we make here help the vast majority of that one-third population. DDS, we continue to invest in the DDS program so that we make sure that our developmental disabilities are continued to be funded. Our Adamus Board, our mental health, drug, alcohol, rehabilitation. Stillwater, the Stillwater Center, we have one of the few remaining intermediate care facilities in the state of Ohio, and ours is second to none. It is the top facility that the state looks at when they are looking at intermediate care facilities. 98 of the most acute care people in our county. Business services, our workforce programs, we continue to support that. How do we make sure that our employers have access to employees and they are trained? And we also have the services that employers need to recruit. Our facilities, we continue to invest in our facilities throughout the county, and then our Vet Service Commission. Judicial and law enforcement, our sheriff. Commissioners, you have supported and invested in body cameras. You have also invested in alternatives to incarceration, like our electronic home monitoring. Juvenile court, we continue to see the synergy between juvenile court and children's services, and how do we protect as many of our youth as possible. Job and family services, common pleas court, our prosecutor, clerk of courts, and our coroner. Within some of our miscellaneous items, we have domestic relations. We also have the crime lab and the public defender. Governance and debt. You see, the biggest thing here is administrative services. $50 million of that is our health care and then our emergency management system. Our auditor, our non-departmental, which is made up of other departments within our organization, business services, the treasurer, data processing, board of elections, and the recorder. In our non-departmental, we also have investments in facilities and buildings that we'll continue to make. And then environment and public services. Our public works, our county engineer, solid waste, our water and sewer. Right now, Commissioner, we have 35 million gallons a year that we produce in water that goes out to 250,000 people across the county. We have over 1,200 miles of sewer and over 1,400 miles of water line. It is a huge system to maintain, and Matt and his team does a great job of maintaining it. Our county engineer, Paul Gruner, I'm convinced that every county road and every bridge he is working on either repairing or replacing. Him and his team have done a great job, and you can see that from the Philadelphia Drive picture there. Soil and water and facilities. And then community economic development. And this is huge, Commissioner. You see this from Commissioner Rice's picture with Strix drones. We just talked about that this morning in our DRETA meeting. We continue to invest in our EDGE program, our workforce programs, our CDBG programs, and then our investments in facilities management and O&B. Finally, Commissioners, I have a few slides on our human services levy. It is critically important that we continue to support our levy because, as you can see here geographically, contrary to what most people think, our levy helps everyone. It helps everyone in all walks of our county. It is a $135 million powerhouse, of which we bring down another $141 million worth of state and federal money to create a $250 million impact in our community. And this is done in 2 levies. And it funds, again, pretty much everything. See Commissioner Dodge with the coat, and she has also championed food. Commissioner Rice and Commissioner Lieberman at the Hope Center. Our homeless DDS. We also have Stillwater, the fatherhood and our reentry, our home full market, it's our food, and then our Beat the Stigma campaign. All of these social services are intertwined networks in our county, and there's no other county in Ohio that does this part better than us and leverages the money the way we do. So today, Commissioners, I present to you a balanced general fund budget. We maintain 21% cash reserves at a 5-year pace going out at over $40 million a year in cash reserve. We do this with no increase or no injection, of one-time money. So we will not be using ARPA or CARES or any other money to plug our budget. We continue our critical water and sewer infrastructure with $25.1 million invested in projects and no rate increases to our taxpayers. We maintain key programs and services without significant staff increase, only 8 on the general fund and 14 in total, and we continue to provide our employees a 4% raise. Our sales tax is estimated to improve by $5 million or 4.5%, which will bring the county further out of the pandemic. We maintain our low debt and high credit risk with both standards and or low credit risk, with both Standards & Poor's and Moody's. And we continue to promote public efficiencies through our real estate operations. And this is huge, Commissioners, because if you look at the public defender remodel, $3.1 million that we're going to bring into the Ribo building from state leveraging. If you look at the work we did in partnership with the Area Workforce Board, Commissioner Lieberman, I know you're on that board. With that, we were able to bring in $300,000 to help offset costs for the new Employment Opportunity Center in Westtown. The work that we're doing with Madison Lakes and the work we're doing with the Trotwood Court. All of these things are efficiencies in government, and we continue to leverage more state and federal dollars to do that. With that, Commissioners, I would open it up for any questions, but before that, I would like to thank all of the people involved. I'd like to thank you, Commissioners, for your support. Without your support, this doesn't happen. This is a $1 billion budget, one of the largest in this area, and it doesn't happen without your support. I'd also like everyone from the Office of Budget and Management to stand, please. Under Director John Park's leadership, this team has worked countless hours, weekends, trying to put this budget together, and they've done a fantastic job, and they do that every year, and we're thankful for them.
Yes, we are. Yeah, John didn't stand up. John,
Come on, John.
stand, John.
Stand up,
It's
John.
your team. They want you to
Yeah,
stand
that's
with
right.
them.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'd also, Commissioners, like to thank our staff.
Yeah.
They do a great job. The other elected officials, Paul, hats off to your team because you're here, but any other elected officials that are here, we can't do it without them. And then also all the agency directors that are here, my assistant county administrators, all of our directors that are here, Matt and his team. We can't do this kind of work, Commissioners, without the full support of the county. So with that, Commissioners, I would open it up for questions from you.
I don't really have a question. I just want to compliment you all. It seems like every year it gets easier for everyone to look at, to see how broad our services are in the county. And whoever did the pictures, it's lovely this
Our
year.
communications team,
Our communications
where's your
team,
tail? Kevin's
Deb's
here.
up front. It looks great, you guys.
Danielle, Kevin?
And yeah, there's Kevin. Okay, thanks everybody. I think it really just pulls it all together because so many times people ask, what does the county do for us? What do we do? And I think this just shows how much we do, how efficient we are with our dollars, our partners that are out there, the dollars that you guys are. And when I say you guys, it's all of you who are able to figure out how to leverage more dollars. It's incredible. So Thank you so much.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Yeah, and I'm just going to add that, being a former recorder, and I know that both of you have been other treasurer in the auditor's office, you know, going to committee meetings and different meetings with those agencies and everything, or those elected officials, it's amazing how different counties, the elected officials don't speak to each other, they don't get along, they can't seem to reach, you know, any sort of agreement on anything, and I think we are so lucky here in Montgomery County, you know, to be able to speak to our elected officials and get along and, you know, work hard, except for
I was
Paul.
gonna say, except for Paul.
He is without a doubt the worst one.
He's our favorite, that's why he's up here with us.
That's right. No, I'm kidding, but great job, thank you so much, everybody, so thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
And I would definitely echo both of those statements. I would also say, having come from the private sector, I am pleased to, you know, really say that we're unmatched. You know, in the private sector, our financial people, we are blessed here in Montgomery County with a totally professional group of individuals. You're all standing here, and there's probably other people in each of the departments, and that is not something to be taken for granted, and that we do work together. And I would assure the public that I would put us toe-to-toe with some of the, I've worked at major companies here in the region, and I would put us toe-to-toe of the wealth of experience, the dedication to mission, and in some ways I'd put us above, because the problems that we're trying to tackle are not easy. They're very complex. We don't necessarily solve them, but we drive them in the right direction. It has been, this is now my 16th year in public service, and I would say that the dedication to public service and mission, we all have, like you've heard me say before, we're like a village with all these different, they certainly feed up to the overall mission of increasing the health and vitality of not only our citizens, but our community. But we can go toe-to-toe with anybody in the private sector. This is a world-class organization, and I can say that from experience and insights of being in other situations. So our citizens should be very proud of how we do what we're required to do, but what is so amazing and what an honor it is to serve with all of you is that we go above and beyond, and that we stretch into those strategic investments that we just want to make. The Ohio Revised Code does not tell us we have to make those, but we know that those are the ingredients for a successful community. So I'm just very thankful to each and every one of you for the role you play. It may be tough at times, you may be pulling your hair out at times, but in the end, we get really good results. And I know that what our citizens want is responsibility, fiscal responsibility, as well as social responsibility, and they get it with Montgomery County. So thank each and every one of you.
Thank you, Commissioners. I'd ask that you support the resolution that's on for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. And now, our county engineer.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, Administrator, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the compliments. We have just one resolution today, Resolution 22-1744, to amend the agreement with MS Consultants, Inc. for ODOT pre-qualified relocation advisory services for the Social Railroad Project Phase 1 by extending the term through December 31st of 2024.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Common Pleas Court.
Thank you, Commissioners. Under the Court of Common Pleas, we have Resolution 1745, amend Resolution 22-1610 by revising the fee schedules for legal representation provided for indigent defendants in criminal cases, indigent children, parents, custodians, and other indigent persons in local parentis.
I move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Auditor's Office.
Under the County Auditor, we have Resolution 1746, authorizing the termination of 10 Oracle licensing for the Data Processing Department.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
County Administrator.
Under the County Administrator, under the Clerk's Office, we have approved the minutes of the meetings on November 29th, 2022. Resolution 1747, approval of bills, and that list is in the Clerk's Office.
I move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Administrative Services.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. We have just 3 resolutions for you today, beginning with 1748. This is the approval of personnel actions. This list is available in the clerk's office. 1749 selects the bid and authorizes an agreement with Ice Miller LLP for the broadband consulting services project in an amount not to exceed $176,450 through December 31st of 2024. And 1750 extends the price agreement with RD Holder Oil for on-site fueling services for the Environmental Services Department through December 31st of 2023.
Move to approve.
Excuse me.
Second, and I do want to discuss 1749. I'm so glad that we are, and I'm sure Tyler is as well, having a consultant on this, because as we learn more and more about all the broadband dollars are out there, and as I say often, it's like, who's on first? And there's gonna be a lot of money around this, and we wanna make sure that we don't leave anything sitting on the table, and that we can serve all of our constituents in our county, not only to have broadband, but to have affordable broadband. So I'm really glad that we're, not that you couldn't have done it yourself, I know you could have, but it's huge. And Carolyn and I were just in Chicago at a conference, and, you know, when they talk about all these different things and opportunities, you're like, yeah, but we need-
And it's
we
sorting
need-
out all those
yeah, and
options
so
to make sure we make
I'm-
the smart
I'm-
decisions.
Yeah, I'm really glad that we're doing this, so I will move for approval.
Commissioner, before
Yeah.
you move, this is really huge, to your point. This is going to allow us not only to invest some of our upper dollars in this area, but also to draw down from the state and federal infrastructure grant and the national highway money around broadband that's out
Yeah.
there. So having Ice Miller on the team is going to be really nice. So thank you for your support,
Great,
Commissioner.
thank you.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Environmental Services.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. For Environmental Services, we have Resolution 1751, solicit a request for qualifications for professional design services for the Eastern Stormwater Pump Replacement Project. And Resolution 1752, amend the agreement with RA Consultants LLC for the Regent Water Main Replacement Project by adding $66,404 to the original amount for a revised total of $192,509 and extending the term through March 15th, 2025.
I move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. OMB, John Parks.
Thank you. We have 2 resolutions for your consideration. 1753, to exempt all calendar year 2023 Montgomery County purchases of $1,000 or less from the requirement of ORC 5705.41D1, that a certificate of the fiscal officer be attached to any contract or order involving expenditure of money as permitted under 5705.41D2. And 1754, approve the 2023 permanent appropriation of $975,455,984 for all county offices and agencies appropriated on a calendar year basis.
Move to approve.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Well done.
Thank you.
Human Services.
Yes, we have Resolution 1755, authorizing an agreement to provide eligibility referral and support services to Kettering Health Network with funding reimbursement in an actual amounts of 50% of expenses incurred for salaries, fringe benefits, and other costs through December 31st of 2023. Resolution 1756, to accept a grant from the Ohio Department of Job and Family Services for workforce funding for the Children's Services Division in an amount not to exceed $620,615 through June 30th of 2023. And Resolution 1757, to amend the federal fiscal year 2022 and 23 prevention, retention, and contingency biennial renewal plan through September 30th of 2023.
I move for approval.
Second.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Business Services.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Under Business Services, we have 5 resolutions for you today. Under Community and Economic Development, we have Resolution 1758, approve the Fall 2022 Economic Development Project Funding Recommendations for the Economic Development Government Equity Edge Program. 1759, rescinds number 221192 dated July 26, 2022, which approved an agreement with La Paz LLC doing business as Massaro for support and maintenance services for grant management solution for the Emergency Rental Assistance Program. And the next three authorizes a delegation of activities agreements. 1760 with the City of Clayton for a City of Clayton demolition project in an amount not to exceed $35,000 through July 31st, 2023. 1761, City of Clayton for the Westbrook Park ADA restroom renovation project in an amount not to exceed $48,750 through July 31st, 2023. And 1762, Rebuilding Together Dayton for the operation of a community development block grant program in an amount not to exceed $100,000 through February 15th, 2024.
Move to approve?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
And
Aye.
those are some great projects.
Yeah.
The Edge, we were so impressed with the projects this year. And then, you know, helping our jurisdictions, sometimes we overlook that, the things that we're able to do that might seem small, but they mean a lot to our jurisdictions, that we're able to do those things with CDBG dollars. And of course, the last one, 62, to be able to continue to support Rebuilding Together is so important, I know, to all of us, and so thank you.
Madam Clerk, there's no comments by citizens? All right, our county administrator.
Thank you, Commissioners. We're already planning for one of our big events for next year, and this is one of my favorites, too. Mark your calendars for Montgomery County Fatherhood Summit on January 20th. It takes place from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at St. Clair College. The summit is so beneficial, Commissioners, to our fathers and to the community. It brings parenting resources, inspirational speakers, our local organizations together to support our dads. And it's really important that we recognize our fathers. So registration is now open. The link and the sign-up is on our webpage at mcohio.org. Scroll down to latest news and click on the link. Again, it's on our webpage at Montgomery County or mcohio.org. Scroll down to the latest news and click on the link. Thank you, Commissioners.
Thank you, Michael, and you're right, I know every year you speak at it, some of us speak at it as well. The summer is a wonderful event, culminated with a wonderful dinner banquet. But it's an excellent way for us to collaborate with all of our partners out in the community that are working with fathers. And, you know, I'm thinking of Clothes at Work and some of our others that are there to support dads. And it just helps strengthen all of our fathers, our families, and our community. This is our 5th year to have the summit, and we've had great participation from our returning citizens. Because oftentimes, you know, the men and women, but the men that come back have torn relationships with their children and families. And so giving them the tools that they need to work on those relationships, and even if they do have good relationships, to make those even stronger. And so our fatherhood program is helpful to all dads, and especially those that are not living in the same household with their children. And the guidance and the tools that are given are noticeably important for the development of our children in our community. Again, our returning citizens have just loved the program, and you know, they realize it can be difficult to mend relationship with their children after they get out. So our Office of Reentry promotes this. We have a great partnership with our Fatherhood Initiative and the Office of Reentry. And all dads know, whether or not you live with your children or not, your involvement is vital to your children's success. And we have the resources to help you. You know, the joke, we're the government, we can help. Well, we can. And so please visit our website for details for that wonderful event that will be coming up.
That was wonderful. Well, Jerry and I got to be part of a wonderful event on Sunday that the Ohio State Coalition of Clubs, which is motorcycles, came once again to our Haynes Center for Children, and to drop off more than $10,000 in gifts for children who are in our care. And it's so much fun. This isn't the only time of year they come. They come at Easter time, they come before school starts, and I think they're there in their hearts all the time for the kids. but you can hear them coming. You can hear you know, coming down the road, and it's like they're on their way. And then the whole road, the whole driveway just gets filled with all these Harleys. And these guys look really tough, but they have hearts of gold. So the next time you see a biker, know that they might be one of our Ohio Coalition of Clubs, and that they have huge hearts, and they want to deliver these toys and things. They said not just for that day, but to let those children know of all ages that they are there and they care about them and the community cares about them, because these poor children are often in, you know, particularly challenging situations. So if we can send any message to them every day of the year, would be your community cares, this community cares about them. And we have helped over 1,000 children through this donation. So this is no small donation. And they were already figuring out, how could we help some of the older kids next year to give them things, because you can't give them games and different things. Can't give them gift cards, you know, that kind of stuff. So they are dedicated. I think we've done it for 6 or 7 years now. So I think they'll be there for forever. So it was wonderful. And we just want to thank the Ohio State Coalition of Clubs. Elmo is their leader. We even did the whole prayer. It was just awesome, awesome, awesome. And it was a beautiful day. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And to my fellow citizens, know that there are lots of people out there that care about our kids in addition to all of us. So very heartwarming, very, very heartwarming.
Yeah, they are. And also they do egg hunts in the spring and donate backpacks in the fall, which I think is
And you
so
got to
great.
see the Christmas tree. It's a dinosaur in the lobby.
I saw the picture, yeah.
It's hilarious. And it has feet and big claws
That's really cute.
and a big tail. Like the creativity of the Children's Center. Each year it's a different kind of Christmas tree theme. I need to take lessons. I just do the same old, same old. Okay.
Okay. Well, when everybody's finished coughing and sneezing.
I'm sorry.
and carrying
I
on.
drank my
Oh,
microphone.
no. Did you have some water down there?
I drank it all.
Okay, all right. Is there some extra
I'm
water
fine,
there
I'm
for
fine, I'm
somebody?
fine, I'm fine. Stop it.
Okay, well, I hate to put a downer on this whole thing, but the holidays are just around the corner, and guess what? After Christmas, what do you have to do? You have to get rid of your tree. If you bought a live Christmas tree, right? And guess what? You can take it down to our solid waste district at 1001 Increte Lane in Moraine for free disposal. Please take the tinsel and the ornaments off. We do not do that for you, so you have to take that stuff off the tree. But it's a wonderful way to do something environmentally friendly to dispose of the tree. And this year, Five Rivers Metro Parks will also have an option that may be closer to home for you. They will once again hold their tree recycling program this year, where trees are sunk into Eastwood Lake. I don't want to know about this, but for more information, check out the Five Rivers Metro Parks website. Really?
Yeah,
It is.
really.
It
They
makes
just
it
dump
a
'em
whole
into the Eastwood
No,
Lake?
they make an ecosystem
It's-
for all the fish and
Okay,
everything.
good.
It's a good thing.
That's
It's a
great.
good thing.
Okay,
They
good.
wouldn't do it if it was bad.
I just thought they were just throwing stuff in Eastwood Lake.
No. No, we would not support that. But this is
Okay.
a good thing for the ecosystem of the lake.
Good. All right, that's all I got. So now-
And I think that they also, just to be aware, I know, I don't know about the rest of you, but you know, those lights, you get them out and then just one burns out and you don't know. Don't throw them in the trash if you want to be earth-friendly. Five Rivers has receptacles for them. I know they have them at Cox Arboretum. They may have them other places. But check that out so you know that they won't just be going into the landfill. Those of us who try to go the extra mile, there are options for all of this. So keep that in mind as well. Well, with that, I think that we have come to the end of our agenda. Our next Montgomery County Commission meeting will be Tuesday, December 13th, a week from today at 1:30 p.m. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Have a wonderful week, everyone. Stay safe and stay well. Thank you.